We're talking light thing, right thing on the Business Blast with Satco, sponsor. That's right, SATCO. If you're an electrical distributor and you don't have Satco on your line card, what are you waiting for? I went to the website today. Satco's got the most beautiful track lights I've ever seen at a really affordable price, Greg Eric.
They do. They have, an addition to that, they have just about every fixture out there from a decorative standpoint. And then every light bulb, traditional including. I needed some 8-foot T12 cool lights. Who's got them?
Come on.
Petco.
Atlas Lighting has them, but so does Satco. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
SATCO.com. What's up, Greg Eric? What do you got?
Okay, business time. So, you know, I don't get a lot of presents anymore, like wrapped presents, under the tree or for my birthday or anything. You just kind of get what you need when you need it, and it's whatever. So,
No
but my
candles on
presents,
your cake, eh, bud?
no candles, no. But my present, and I think a lot of people in business, it should be their presents, is I'm trying to think the right way to put it, but you want to have a lot of asks or requests out there, a lot of things you're waiting on. My whole thing is I want to hurry up and wait. I want to hurry up and have to wait, right? I get proposals out, I get questions out, I'm waiting on somebody to get back to me.
Hmm.
And then when they get back to me, it's a nice little present,
Sure.
good or bad, right?
Yeah.
you, you get to open it and see what it is. So
All I want is a
I don't know
yes
the
or a
met.
no so I can move
Yeah,
on.
yeah, or a continuation. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ideally you want some. If it's positive and it's going to continue, that's great.
Well,
Then
no,
there's
no
another
is just an
present
8 month
coming.
follow up. We've talked about it before.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, and especially in lighting, it's never no. But I don't know the right formula. I mean, I don't think there is any magic formula to the number of these you want a day. But the more you have, the better. I know that. The more
Okay.
times you're asking for things, the more requests you have, the more proposals you have out there, the more you can get in. Is that the grown up version of a Christmas present?
Uh, I think Christ says, "Seek and ye shall find, and knock and the door shall be opened unto you." Right?
Okay.
Um, there's this is biblical. It's also spiritual. It's also the secret that people talk about. It's all the manifestation. Okay? You've heard the old joke, I think I've told it to you before, the man who's praying every day, he says, "God, help me win the lottery." He waits and doesn't win the lottery and he asks God again, "Help me win the lottery." And he waits and he doesn't win the lottery again. And he prays again and he says, "God, I really need to win the lottery." And God slaps him and says, "Why don't you buy a ticket?" You know? So there's something to humans and getting after it. It's so biblical. It's there. You have to strike out with a club and go out into the world and make your destiny happen. And if you choose not to do that, you have no right to complain. It's like the parable of the talents. You're the worthless servant cast into the outer darkness. You have to get after it, man. And your culture, the our ancestors and our cultures from all manner of cultures in the world are telling you that ask, knock, seek. Always, you have to do that. And if you're not doing that, then you have no right to complain about not having the results you want.
Right. And I always I look at it too, and my whole I think it sums up a lot of what I try to do is I want to be on the waiting end. I never want people to wait for me. Is that the right is that the right model? Or sometimes I know you're a little more deliberate in your thinking sometimes than I am, but I just want to get it off my plate onto their plate back to me, back and forth. It's like shuffling that around till it's
Mm.
done and answered.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you were saying with the whole presence part of it is that whether or not you win or lose or whatever, the present is that you've done your part of it, and that
Mm-hmm.
now you've given your best effort towards it, your best professional effort. You got a B plus, or whatever it is that you're saying, and now you can sleep better knowing that you didn't forget to send that guy. How weird is that? I don't know if this ever happens to you because you're Mr. Conscientious,
Yeah.
but like, there's folks listening to this. You ask Greg to do anything, 20 minutes later, it's done. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Greg, write an article for the TLD. It's
Done.
done. There it is, done. Right? So
Yep.
he's like this. But there's like that sense when you forget to send the proposal. I forgot to send this guy a quote, and then
Mhm.
I got to the email. I was like, oh, it's like 8 days later, and you're like, oh man, that's like the worst feeling in the world. Even if it's like a
Oh,
hundred
for sure.
bucks and you don't really care that much whether you get the $100 or not, I just feel like such a loser for not getting back to that person. And like,
Yeah.
oh, now he's waited, and he thinks I'm a shitbird, and I'm not
Yep.
reliable. That's that worthless servant dynamic, man. You want to be worthy of respect. You want to be worthy of an answer. You want to treat people um, with due process and speed in business and in life. Yeah, man. I think you're 100. It's one of the things I respect about you most, man. To be honest with you.
Well, thanks. Yeah, but that is like what I was thinking about as you're saying that. It's like, oh, I can't still like I've gone a couple days sometimes where I forgot something and I'm just like, oh my god, worst thing ever. But there's a lot of people, and I'm not trying to say that we're all that great, but it just seems like more people than not don't respond or don't follow through.
And they
And
also
is
don't
that just
follow instructions and due
yeah,
process.
right.
Okay. So, like, one of the things that I'm looking to hire right now, and so I sat down, and you and I have expanded our ability to scrub our hiring process of people that are not conscientious, can't follow instructions, right? And it's
Hmm.
absolutely hilarious to me to see people not have any idea what to do, but the instructions were super clear. So
Hmm.
we send them an email saying, okay, this is a job available in the middle of a pandemic when no one else is hiring. Here's the 7 steps towards becoming employed by us. Step one,
Yeah.
do this. Step two, do that. Right? And you watch people bungle this,
Yeah.
waiting for
Yeah.
someone to tell them what to do, thinking that everything should just be ushered to them and they should be brought along. And oh, I didn't read the one sentence after step one which said email this person by this time on this date, and that
Mhm.
disqualifies me from the job interview. Yes, because not being able to do that tells me more about you than sitting down and talking to you for an hour.
Right.
And so the fact that people like you and I and those like us, many of the people in the NAED and nail members that have successful companies, know that excuse making and hoping others get back to you, and whatever, all that sort of stuff is not how to treat people the way you would want to be treated. You have a contractor over to your house to give you a quote. When do you want the quote?
Right away.
Right away, as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some things are more complicated, and you say, "Hey, can we take a week to look at this or whatever it is?" Right? But I mean, you have to deliver on that, and that's such a key to success in relationships and with people. And people that don't like that are the kind of people you don't want to be around. You don't want
Right.
them in your
And even
company.
yeah, even on that proposal side, if you know you're not going to get to it right away, say I'm not going to be able to get to it, but I should be able to by Wednesday. You know what you better do on Wednesday? You
Boom.
better reply whether you have it or not. If you have
Yes.
it, you better get it there. But if you're not, you better have a good reason why it's not there, and you're going to say, "Here's the date I'm going to get it," and then you do it.
Well, the
So
other
that's the kind of steps you got to do.
the other thing is I don't like the blame goes uphill argument. So like
Mm.
some people in my company will get a customer request, and then they'll have to email someone else. And so their trigger to get back to the customer is to wait for the other person to email them. You ever notice this?
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And if that other person breaks the chain, they forget to email the people, but it's not their fault. It's the person that didn't email me's fault.
Yep.
You notice that?
Right.
That happens a lot
Hmm.
at my
Oh,
company.
it
It's like,
does.
no, 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 no. It's not the person at that other company that didn't send you the quotes problem. It's your problem. You got to get back to that guy.
Hmm.
You got to chase that other guy down for him. That's your job. So I agree with you. I think that, you know, getting stuff, it's something I've learned from you, and, that how important it is. I'll give you another anecdote. Indecisiveness or not responding is a form of communication, okay?
Sure.
Which tells the other person that you don't respect or care about them that much.
Mm.
Like that's what you're telling them,
Yep.
right? And that they have to go after you to get you to care about them. You ever invite somebody to an event and you're trying to plan the event? Maybe it's 12 or 15 people, maybe it's 100 people, but the person won't RSVP and won't get back to you.
Mm. Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Oh
that's
yeah.
so annoying, dude.
Right.
The party starts at 6. Are you coming? No response. You could just say no.
Mm-hmm. Simple no works.
Yeah. Oh, man, I think you're right, brother.
Yeah.
This has been the Biz Blast with the hyper conscientious folks down at Satco. Always get back to me right away. Go to
They do.
satco.com. That's light thing, right thing. Love those guys.